What's the deal, YouTube? What's the deal, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title, Game 1, Miami Heat versus the Charlotte Hornets. Luol Deng, definitely the hero of this game, playing like a monster from the power forward position. Definitely the extra points that we need, considering that we don't have our highest paid player. Absolutely ecstatic with the play of this team in game one. I'm still predicting that the Charlotte Hornets will win at least one game in this series. I would be happy as hell with a sweep. I would love to say that we're going to sweep, but I do feel like this Hornet team has enough to at least win one game in this series, but I think we will be too much for them. I really like the points in the long gaps that we allowed Dwayne Wade to be able to sit on the bench. I think that's incredibly important, especially for the health of Dwayne Wade coming down in this playoff stretch. We're going to need that. And I think the bench depth definitely allows Dwayne Wade to not have to play so many minutes. You saw stretches where it was Dragic and Richardson out there, or Dragic and Winslow and Richardson. So the depth definitely lends to Dwayne Wade not having to play so many minutes and not having to put this team on its back in a game like this. I think that's incredibly pivotal for our success if we're going to make a run at a championship this year. I also like the fact that Amari Stoudemire was able to come off the bench and give us some big points. So let's take a brief look. We'll take a brief look at the stats for this game. Let's take a brief look at them. Here we go. Joe Johnson giving us 11 points. Not very happy with the play of Joe Johnson in this game. He picked up 2 very early fouls, which limited him to only 11 points. He only played 26 minutes in the game. By far, well, Dwayne Wade played 26.2. So, but Joe Johnson not able to be very. He didn't put in a lot in this game. Luol Deng definitely picked up the slack, dropping 31 points. Hassan Whiteside, the young man Whiteside, 21 points. Dwayne Wade giving us 16, and Dragic giving us 9. 8 points from Winslow, 8 points from Richardson, 11 points from Stoudemire. We got a Udonis Haslem sighting, even though it was only for 59 seconds. 8 points from Darrell Wright, who hit, I think he hit back-to-back threes. Yeah, 2 threes down in garbage time. For the Charlotte Hornets, it was Nicholas Batum dropping 24 points. Kemba Walker with 19, and Big Al Jefferson giving the Hornets 13 points. But to me, they don't have enough scoring if they're going to play like this. Nicholas Batum is a beast, though. I could definitely see the Knicks trying to make a good, hard run at Nicholas Batum next year, because that fucking guy, he's a nice piece. And I know the Portland Trailblazers wish they never let him go any fucking where, because he could have been. I felt like he would have been a nice little piece to slide in there with your point guard. And I think Portland still ended up getting the 5 seed, even without LaMarcus Aldridge or Nicholas Batum. I don't watch a lot of Portland basketball because that shit comes on late at fucking night. But yeah, Nicholas Batum is a beast, and he's the one problem that I feel like we have, man. He's that one guy that I feel like, along with Kemba Walker, because Kemba Walker was blowing by Dragic a lot in this game. He really was. He was giving Dragic a lot of problems just getting by him and blowing by him, getting to the rim. But he was not effective tonight in his shot selection, even though he was able to get by Dragic a lot. So the Heat take game 1. Very, very excited. When is the next game, Kim? Next game is Wednesday. That's right. I'm asking my wife when the next game is, because she knows more about the playoff scheduling than I do.
Sure do,
which is weird as fuck, but it's true. So, Heat take game 1. 3 more games to go, and let's look at this bracket again. 3 games to go. let's see here. Right now the Pacers are beating. Pacers are up 1-0 over the Toronto Raptors. So they essentially taking the home court advantage away from the Toronto Raptors. Pacers have a superstar. The Toronto Raptors do not. Toronto Raptors have some good players in DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, but they don't have a superstar. Paul George is a superstar, and I think that's part of the problem with this Toronto Raptor team. This Toronto Raptor team is the fact.
They rapping now?
Shut up. Yeah, they rapping. Anyway, I really think that's a part of the problem with them. Is they have a bunch of good players, but they don't have that superstar. Whereas, I mean, they don't have that guy that makes everyone else better. They don't have that guy who can lift, who you can put a team on your back and carry them. They have a bunch of good players. They don't have that one dominant player, and that's the reason why they're going to struggle every time they reach the playoffs until they get that guy. I thought DeMar DeRozan might turn the corner eventually, but it hasn't happened. He's still a good player. He's not a great player. And until they get that great player, until they get that LeBron James, that Dwayne Wade, that Paul George, that Kobe Bryant, that Tim Duncan, that who else? James Harden. Well, James Harden. I don't know. He's a good offensive player. That motherfucking defense is trash. And then I mean, the last game we saw him completely disappear. But until they get that guy, they're never going to be able to go deep in the playoffs. There never will be a team that will be able to contend for a championship unless they have that guy. Now, you might say, well, if you look at the Detroit Pistons, when they won a championship, they didn't have that guy. They had Chauncey Billups, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, and Ben Wallace. That was the last time I've ever seen a team like that win a championship, by the way. Every other team has had at least one superstar.
I know Scott watching.
There has at least been one superstar on every other championship team that you could think of. Whether it was the Mavericks with Dirk Nowitzki, the Heat with D. Wade and LeBron James, the Spurs with the Kawhi Leonard and Tim Duncan. There has always been, there's at least one superstar on every championship team other than that Piston team. That Piston team is the only team I can point out to you that didn't have a superstar that I remember. So that's the problem with the Toronto Raptors. But yeah, man. Nice win. We were holding our breaths, hoping like hell that we didn't come out and blow the lead like we did versus the Celtics the other day, but they were able to hold the lead. I think the lead kind of fluctuated back and forth within that mid 20 to 20 point range, and finally we were able to bring it home. Nice win, 123 to 91. Huge win for the Miami Heat. Next game, Wednesday. Let's go make this shit 2-0. Let's go get one in Charlotte. Come back here and end the fucking series, or sweep these motherfuckers and get them the fuck out of here and get ready to rest, because I feel like that Charlotte, that Pacer Raptor series is probably going to go to 7. It's probably going to go to 7. If the Raptors are able to get them out, it's going to be a 7-game series. It's the only way I see the Raptors being able to win that series. Anyway, good win for the Heat. Huge night for the old man Deng. He's 31 years old, but he turned back the fucking clock. Definitely played like a beast. Don't know if we can count on him for 31 points a game. Joe Johnson is definitely going to have to show up better than he showed up tonight. 11 points is not going to be acceptable. We're not gonna reach the Eastern Conference Finals with Joe Johnson giving us 31 points and no Chris Bosh. It's not going to happen. We're going to need 20 points from Joe Johnson. We're going to need 25 from Bosh. We're going to need points cooler than the other side of the pillow.
Cooler than the other side?
Yeah. We're going to need 20 points from Hassan Whiteside, and we're going to need the rest of the role players to fill in the spots where Bosh would. Yeah. Cooler than the other side of the pillow. Anyway, folks, that is the end of the video. I'm cooler than the other side of the pillow, as my man Stuart Scott would say. I'm out of here. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Rest in peace to Stuart Scott. Peace.